As we gaze into the depths of the universe, we all ask the same question: are we alone? But what if this question isn't just relevant today, but has been valid since the dawn of humanity? Could prehistoric civilizations have encountered extraterrestrial beings? Do ancient artworks, massive structures, and mythologies hold clues to this possibility? Let's dive into the legend of prehistoric aliens and search for the truth together. Mysterious figures in ancient art. Throughout history, humans have depicted what they saw in their art. From the Lascaux caves in France to the rock paintings of Chhattisgarh in India, ancient artworks around the world feature intriguing figures. Large-headed beings, elongated limbs, and figures surrounded by halos of light. Were these merely products of primitive imagination, or did they actually depict beings they had encountered? Particularly, the Wandjina cave paintings in Australia are described by the local Aboriginal people as sky spirits. These figures clearly differ from ordinary tribal warriors. Their large eyes, mouthless faces, and unusual head shapes closely resemble classic depictions of extraterrestrials. If these images are mere myths, why do similar figures appear in cave drawings across different parts of the world? Massive structures and engineering marvels. The Egyptian pyramids, Stonehenge, the Baalbek stones. How were these structures built? Even with modern technology, moving and placing some of these stone blocks remains a challenge. The 1,000-ton stone blocks in Baalbek seem nearly impossible to move with the manpower available in ancient times. So how were these colossal stones placed so precisely? Some researchers suggest that ancient civilizations may have possessed a form of technology unknown to us. However, whether or not they received extraterrestrial assistance remains uncertain. Scientists believe that careful planning, long periods of labor, and slave work likely contributed to their construction. Yet, this explanation doesn't satisfy everyone. The Nazca Lines and messages to the sky. The Nazca Lines in Peru might be one of the most compelling pieces of evidence supporting the ancient astronaut theory. These figures and geometric shapes, stretching hundreds of meters, are only fully visible from the sky. So why and how did the Nazca people create them? Mainstream archaeologists believe these lines were made for ritualistic purposes or as pathways dedicated to gods. However, alternative theories suggest that these shapes could be a form of communication meant for extraterrestrial visitors. If so, who were they trying to reach? Mythologies and the ancient astronaut theory. The Sumerian gods, the Anunnaki, the flying chariots in Hindu mythology, the Incan and Mayan deities who supposedly descended from the sky. Do these stories hint at encounters with extraterrestrial beings? A significant portion of mythology refers to beings descending from the sky. From the Vimanas in Hindu texts to the gods mentioned in the Enuma Elish, many legendary accounts could potentially be based on real events from the past. However, scientists tend to interpret these texts as allegorical and symbolic rather than literal records of extraterrestrial encounters. Science and skepticism. Mainstream science approaches these claims with caution. Anthropologists and archaeologists argue that we should not underestimate the intelligence of ancient societies. Humanity gradually acquired knowledge and skills, constructed grand structures, and created complex works of art. Scientists maintain that great structures can be built without extraterrestrial aid. Indeed, engineering has evolved throughout history, and civilizations have produced remarkable works. Yet, some structures still lack a definitive explanation. Extraterrestrial imagery in ancient texts. Ancient texts such as the Mahabharata, the Enuma Elish, and even the Bible mention beings descending from the heavens. Are these merely mythological characters, or could they be records of real events? We explore claims that ancient written records describe extraterrestrial beings. Some researchers argue that these celestial figures in the texts were actually extraterrestrials. However, historians suggest that these stories carry metaphorical meanings, and that the descent of gods from the heavens may symbolize natural phenomena or the power of human imagination. UFO-like sightings and historical accounts. From the Middle Ages to ancient Rome, numerous records mention strange flying objects. In ancient China, tales speak of dragons moving across the sky, while Roman historians recorded accounts of unusual lights in the atmosphere. Could these be historical UFO sightings? Were these aerial events natural phenomena, or could they have been genuine signs of extraterrestrial visitors? There is no definitive answer yet, but the historical records are certainly intriguing. Archaeological anomalies and unknown technologies. The precise stone cutting at Puma Punku, the Baghdad Battery, and other controversial archaeological discoveries. Were these the result of extraterrestrial intervention, or simply extraordinary human ingenuity? The probability of extraterrestrial life. If we are not alone in the universe, could we have been visited by extraterrestrials in ancient times? We analyze what science says about this possibility and evaluate the likelihood of alien life. Conclusion and alternative theories. Could prehistoric aliens have truly visited our world? Or are all these accounts simply the product of human imagination and the desire to explore the unknown? The evidence remains inconclusive. What do you think?